Welcome back, friends. Now we are dealing with various interest scenarios. We have completed simple interest case, compound interest, continuous compounding, and today we are going to deal with a subtopic that comes under continuous compounding. Next one, continuous compounding for annuities. This is a case that comes under continuous compounding. And before going into continuous compounding, you need to understand what is meant by annuity. You have heard about the term annuity previously or before, but you may not be aware about the simple meaning of annuity. Actually, annuity is a fixed amount payable periodically at equal interval, and that interval may be for a period of year or a half year, a month, depends. So annuity may take the form of an interest, maybe in the form of rent or pension or salary, like that. Just go through the examples: interest, rent, pension, etc. Because the peculiarity of these items, rent, interest, pensions, is that all the amount that are paid or received periodically are fixed. So that is the meaning of annuity or the concept of annuity. And here we are going to deal with continuous compounding for annuity. Continuous compounding for annuity is in the sense that usually you have been dealing or we have been dealing with cases where a person who may be invested in some investment ventures, or he may, or the certain person might have took a loan from bank. We have been dealing with cases relating that. So in all those cases, you may be given a case or question in which an initial amount has been invested or took as loan. We have been dealing with such cases where there is only one initial amount. There is nothing more. And you are asked to find compound interest or simple interest or continuous compounding based on that. But continuous compounding for annuity is on the concept is that whatever the person he may lend or invest, that depends. He may lend or invest a certain amount at fixed intervals periodically. So here maybe the concerned person might have invested different principal amounts or a certain fixed amounts of principal amount for different periodical periods of time. That depends. So in that case, how you are going to find the compound interest? So the continuous compounding for annuity deal with such cases. So let's deal with what are the cases that comes under continuous compounding for annuities. So let A be the annuity, then total amount for the annuity for n years will be like this. The equation is A equal to A divided by I into e raised to m minus 1. And we all know what is meant by m equal to I into n. We are using this equation when the certain person might lend or invest a fixed amount at different intervals of time. He might have dealt the same amount at different situations at a fixed period of time. Previously, we have been dealing with only one amount. He might lend or deposit any certain sum of money. There will be one amount. But in this situation, the concerned person might have deposited or took less loan different fixed amounts at periodical intervals. Okay. A deposit rupees 500 per year in the bank, which pays as interest of 12% per annum compounded continuously. How much amount will be in account after 10 years? Just go through the question very wisely. A is a person, deposit 500 per year in the bank. So the certain person, that concerned person, deposit rupees 500 per year. You are asked to find for the period of 10 years, and that certain person keeps on depositing a rupees 500 fixed amount at periodical intervals. I hope you understand the case. Previously, we have been dealing with a question where a person deposit rupees 500. Thus, there is no further information regarding any other sorts of deposits. And we are going to deal with compound interest case. Whatever interest we have been dealing with, that depends. But in this situation where continuous compounding for annuities, here the person has deposit 500 rupees periodically for a period of 10 years. So whenever you are going to deal with such cases or situation, you need to use this equation. Okay, let's extract the details given in the question. Here A is 500. Here A means the amount which the certain person keeps on depositing at periodic intervals. That's why we are using A. Previously we have been using P. P means there will be all one amount. Here the concerned person is keeps on depositing at periodic intervals. So we are using small a. A equal to 500, N equal to 10, R is the rate which can be written as I equal to 0.12 and M is I into N, which we all know 0.12 into 10 you will get 1.2. So substitute the same in the equation. A equal to capital A equal to small a divided by I into e raised to m minus 1, where a we don't know, we are asked to find out, and small a in the question it is given 500 divided by I, that is 0.12 into e raised to 1.2, which we have just computed now, minus 1. From this case you need to find the value of e raised to 1.2. See here e raised to 1.2 in the table you will get 0.3012, but for the computation purpose you need to change the negative property. For that 1 divided by 0.3012 you will get 3.32. That will be the value of e raised to 1.2. I hope you understand this concept which we have dealt in detail previously, so I am not going to repeat the same case. Okay, here a equal to 500 divided by 0.12 into 3.32 minus 1. By solving that you will get a equal to 4167 into 2.32, and finally the amount is 9667. So the amount will be in the account, that is 9667. I hope you understand the concept. Just go through it. We will discuss about some other cases that comes under continuous compounding for annuities. Another case, the rate of interest in a bank is 8% per annum compounded continuously. What should I invest per year to get 32,000 at the end of 17 years? Just go through it. Rate of interest in a bank is 8% per annum compounded continuously. What should I invest per year to get rupees 32,000 at the end of the 17 years? So in this question you are asked to find how much amount which I should invest periodically for the 17 years, so that at the end of the 17th year I will get an amount of 32,000 after considering the amount invested or amount deposited plus the certain amount of interest. So let's extract the details here. N is 17, that is the time. R is given 8, which can be written as I equal to 0.08, and M equal to I into N, you will get 8 into 17, that is 1.36, and here it is said that I get amount of 32,000 at the end of the 17th year, so the final amount A is 32,000, and amount which I have to deposit periodically, that we don't know, you need to find out. So let A be unknown, and then we know that the equation is A equal to capital A equal to small a divided by I into e raised to m minus 1. Here the capital A is the annual amount, here A is the amount which we are depositing periodically. By substituting the same details in the equation, A equal to 32,000 and small a we don't know, divided by I equal to 0.08 into e raised to m. M we found that 1.36 minus 1, And in order to find the value of 1.36, first you need to go for the table and check wisely how to find the value of 1.36. And as per the table, the value of 1.36 is 0.2566. But for the computation in this question, you need to change its property. So e raised to plus 1.36 can be computed by 1 divided by whatever value which you have computed as per the table. You will get 3.8971. So substitute this value in the equation. 32,000 equal to a divided by 0.08 into e raised to 1.36. Here it is 3.8971. Just substitute in the equation. Minus 1, you will get 32,000 into 0.08, because I just shifted this known value to the other side. So it will be a into 2.8971 by solving these numbers within the brackets, and finally it will be 2,560 equal to a into 2.8971. Finally a equal to 2,560 divided by 2.8771, you will get a equal to 884. So I should invest rupees of 884 every year, so that at the end of the 17th year I will get an amount of 32,000 if it is compounded continuously as per the bank rate of 8%. This is how you are going to deal with such situations or cases that come under continuous compounding concept. Just go through it, and very cautious regarding computing or finding the table value of a certain number. Be very cautious while computing the value of this table value of a certain number. After that, and don't forget that you need to change its negative property by dividing 1 divided by whatever table value you just computed. Then only you substitute the same in the equation. If you substitute directly the value which you obtain from the table, you might end up with some other answer. So be very cautious while computing, and before computing that you need to be very careful while finding the value from the table, as well as you need to change its negative property. Remember all these steps, just go through it. We will discuss about the further cases in the coming sessions.